Welcome to the channel. My name is Matias. Today, we're going to talk about Wolverine issues 22 and 23. We're going to have Wolverine's final showdown against President Caridad, Spore, Geist. This has been a very fun and bizarre story arc that revolved around drug trafficking, tainted cocaine, sentient cocaine, how the president of this fictitious Marvel country called Tierra Verde wants to create his very own super soldier using this cocaine. So originally he had chosen Roughhouse, who was one of these enforcers from Madripoor. He was sold off and taken to Tierra Verde so he could be experimented on. It's really interesting the fact that Wolverine actually is the one to go and rescue Roughhouse, even though Roughhouse was one of his enemies. So what we had discovered in previous issues that the cocaine that Caridad was selling, it was not only tainted, it was not only bad, it was sentient. It was actually part of a being called Spore, who was this creation of the Deviants. And in one of these conflicts that Wolverine had with Caridad's forces, he was just pumped up with a ton of cocaine. Spore tried to take over his body. Actually, it was Geist who had shot Wolverine with a bunch of cocaine darts. He was Caridad's right-hand man and scientist. He used to be an old school Nazi, and then after the war, he fell into league with the CIA. He was sent to Tierra Verde to create this super soldier with cocaine. Very bizarre. He has a very odd fixation on shaving people. The thing is that now Roughhouse and Wolverine have been captured. So we discovered that Caridad still wants to create his very own super soldier, and he's going to use this tainted cocaine on his own son. That I find it hilarious. His name is Palo. I guess they wanted to use Paulo. That's not really in Spanish. It would be Pablo, but basically his son's name in Spanish is Stick. He called his kid Stick. And it's never referenced that it's a nickname. So Wolverine and Roughhouse are able to break out. They're going to take the battle to Caridad and his men and take down Geist once and for all. Wolverine is able to stop Geist in the nick of time before he shoots a bunch of these cocaine darts into Paulo. And by accident, he shoots all the darts into Caridad, whose consciousness is completely taken over by Spore. He starts pumping more and more cocaine into his system. He morphs into this giant cocaine cookie monster. His design really reminds me of the Cookie Monster. So now all hell breaks loose. We have this cocaine monster just destroying this camp, and he starts absorbing dead bodies into his own body, and he starts growing. Out of nowhere, Wolverine gets a flamethrower and tries to use it on Spore. It doesn't work, and Wolverine gets absorbed into Spore itself, which obviously Wolverine survives. He's able to get out. So basically, everything that Wolverine and La Bandera try to do against this monster, it just doesn't work, but it's actually defeated by Caridad's ex-wife or wife. It's never really established what was their situation. She had these healing powers, and when she touches Spore, she basically kills the monster, but her hands almost burn off. So Wolverine's able to hunt down Geist, and he really does a number on the guy. The panel where you see Wolverine has cut off most of Geist's body armor and how the guy looks under it, it's really gruesome and gross. And then we get on the next page, like this interesting situation that they only barely touch on, but Wolverine is not really down with what's happening in Tierra Verde after the fall of Caridad and this transition government. They seem to be doing some sketchy things like most revolutions, post-revolutions do. And they actually gave back Geist, who was a prisoner, to Germany. So Wolverine decides to leave the country. He crossed paths with that CIA agent that he had met when he just arrived to Tierra Verde. And the CIA agent actually spills the beans on the fact that they were playing both sides in this conflict and taking advantage of the whole situation. Something that the CIA actually did during most of the Cold War in Central and South America. Then Wolverine returns to Madripoor. Like, there's a lot of ends to this story. Like, it feels like the Lord of the Rings. The thing is that he kidnaps the prince or the king of Madripoor and General Coin. He actually drops him into the sewers and simulates that he's going to kill the guys. And it's heavily implied that they're running through shit and they're covered in feces when they get out of the sewers. While back in Germany, we discover that Magneto has hunted down Geist and seemingly ends up killing him. You know, it's a shame. Like, obviously, he's probably dead after this, but it's comic books. He could have come back. It's a shame that we never seen Geist ever again. He is an interesting villain, but we're going to leave things here. I hope you guys liked it. See you guys next time. Bye.